Well, hello everyone. It's Dr. Mark Howard again. And this is the second part of my program to use networking as a way to expand and grow your practice, your health practice, coaching or therapy or body work. Networking, as I said in my first video, is a great way to make connections to people in your community that are really there to serve you and connect with you and help your practice or your business. So in the first video, I talked about, joining a group that meets regularly and then setting up what's called the one-to-one. This is really where you make the connection, the deeper connection to serving. So this video is going to explain and talk with you about um, what I've learned about how to uh, maximize that one-to-one meeting. So again, usually you've arranged it already. Let's take, for example, you're going to meet at a coffee place um, for about an hour. That's about all you need, and get to know this business person um, and have them get to know you. So in you, when you go to the coffee shop, in you, you want to have the spirit of serving. You want to really be in the feeling to serve this business person that you've met and like, and also see that you might have a good chance of supporting one another. So as you come in and you greet one another, you develop rapport, and then you want to listen to them. You want to be curious about what their business is about. What do they hope for their business? It's not like you're there with a list of questions to ask. You're just there to listen, how to see how you can serve them. That's really it. You don't want to have a list of questions to answer. You want it to be just like you would do your coaching session. You want to listen deeply, quietly, and be curious and let that guide you. Now, as I've listened in the past during the one-to-one, several things occur to me at different times, depending upon the business and the person. One, I may get a way that occurs to me how I could support them in our community. How I might be able to talk to people I know in the community about them, keep them in mind when I'm talking to people. Another way it occurs to me that maybe I could also let my clients know about them. There was this wonderful person who offered, body work, um, more like a spa kind of treatment, not, a therapy body work, so that I could see how I might be able to offer that to certain clients as just a way to give my clients a little extra something. Another thing that came up at times with these one-to-one meetings is I saw people in my life, a friend or family member, that I could inform them about this person's business. And another thing that's happened um, is I saw how I might be able to partner with this business person on a particular project. So, for example, I was meeting with a financial advisor who already had set up talks with different organizations and clubs in our community. And it dawned on me that I might be able to add a component to their seminar. Um, let's say a psychological component, but really helping people that he speaks to understand how thinking might affect their ways with money and their ways in seeking help. And so that occurred to me, and I suggested it to this person. We had a nice rapport, um, and we actually combined uh, our services so that I joined him at his seminars, and it really was very helpful. First of all, it helped him um, because more of the people there were interested. They liked what he brought, along with the financial information, the information I provided. But it also helped me um, in giving talks like this, expand my connection to the community and possible clients. So, those are just some examples of when I'm listening to my person, this business person, uh, and listening with curiosity about what they do, things occurred to me. And these were a few of the things that have occurred to me that have really gone well to continue the connection with this business person. Now, after that, they're going to ask about you and they're going to ask about what you do. Now, what I found is that you want to speak from the heart about what you do. You want to speak from how you serve people from what you do. You want to speak from the dream you have for people or the vision you have for people. So I don't introduce myself as a psychologist, as a coach, as a therapist, as a three principles provider. I don't want to get into a person thinking of me as this label, but also I don't want to present the three principles. That's in a coffee. It's not an easy place to talk about the three principles. It's distracting, but when you speak from the heart, people listen. So I've said, depending upon what I was focusing on in my coaching work at the time, when I was working with relationships, I would say something like, I really help couples rediscover the love and understanding that they have for one another. I help them see how the thinking they have about one another is getting in the way of living in those feelings. And so I'll talk from there. I'll talk about how that people have access to happiness and well-being, and I help people discover that for themselves. Um, I talk about how it might occur to me to talk about how everybody has access to beautiful feelings and happiness and well-being and creativity, were it not for the thinking they're in. People can learn to understand that. And that helps people once they understand how the thinking gets in the way of the feelings they're looking for in life. Their relationships get better. They interact with their co-workers in a much more meaningful way and helpful way. If they're running a business, um, they have more understanding for their staff, and it leads to more creativity. So I'll say that's what I do. Now, as I've shared that from the heart, these are just brief examples, but I just want you to see that when people ask what I do, I'm speaking from there, what I hope for people, you see, not from my being this professional or I have these set of principles that I teach. Um, so now when people hear that, they're touched, honestly. When this person across from you in the one-to-one hears that, they like that because you see, they want the same thing. And when you really speak from that feeling, they're touched by it. So they'll be a bit curious. And then you can continue to talk about this understanding in your words and your heartfelt feelings. And you might help a person see the way that thought does interfere with people finding their own wisdom or happiness or well-being. And so then several things may occur from that. Usually, in the discussion, the other person will see something like, "Oh, you know what? This sounds really good for me. It's so different from what I have thought about in terms of a life coach or a therapist. My friend, my brother can really help with this or get help from this, and so as we talk more there, if that's really what is how that business person responds to me, then I'll help them see if they want to make a referral to me, how that person can connect with me, how I might be able to call that person if they are okay with my calling them, suggesting that they recommended me to them. So all of that can take place if that's really the response. But you want to also think about other ways that you can serve once they're curious about you. So, for example, you might want to let them know that you're thinking about expanding your work. So you might be doing individual coaching right now, and you want to, provide services to, let's say, small family-run businesses in our community. And so you can let that business person know you're thinking of adding that to your practice, of beginning to help family-run businesses in your community. Now, I got interested in that because one of my coaching clients was a partner with her husband in a small business in my community, and they would, and she part of what she was seeking help for was to stop arguing with her husband about the business. So I thought to myself, as that got better, as she really improved her relationship with her husband, and their business actually prospered, it got me interested in doing more of that. So you could tell this person as you're talking about yourself and having an interaction about what you presented, what you'd like to be doing more of, what you're thinking of adding to your practice, and see if they might be uh, willing to support you. You might let them know you're doing a seminar in a couple of weeks and how they can support you. You might be able to let them know you're planning a particular program for business people. So during this conversation, all of that's possible during the interaction between the two of you. But it starts with you sharing from the heart, you sharing what you want for people, and when people have realized what you're pointing to them about thinking and about thought and about love and understanding and about happiness, how their lives have really improved. And then as the interaction, as that business person gets more curious, you can also share with them what I just told you, things that you might want their support for, because they'll ask that. What can I support you with? And you could say, well, the reason I joined the business group is I'm expanding my work. I want to, reach out to more people in our community to really contribute to our community. So anybody that you come across that you think I might be helpful to, I would love your referral to me or you mentioning me. And don't say, I would also help them with the referral. That's another thing I wanted to share here. When I tell people to mention me, I say, don't tell them I'm a coach. Don't tell them I'm a psychologist. Tell them the feeling you have as we've talked. Tell them that you really have spoken with someone that has a nice feeling about them, that really looks helpful. So mention me in those terms. And so you help them with how they can refer to you. Um, so those are the benefits. Well, those are the ways to go about a one-to-one. That's what to keep in mind when you have these individual meetings. And finally, if the two of you really have made a connection, and really you're really interested, you could schedule more time to follow up with one another, more time to see how you can serve each other. So that's the way to go about a one-to-one meeting. Remember, when you set up the one-to-one meeting, as I mentioned in the first video, you really want to be careful that you're meeting in a place where you can really be free to listen with curiosity and to be able to share from your heart. So I have found that if you meet over a lunch or a dinner, it's just distracting. Coffee or tea is enough, or anything like that, or a water, whatever way that the two of you can meet in a place where it's easy and not you're not distracted by the activity of the place. So that's something to keep in mind. You can meet anywhere. You just want to keep in mind that you want a space where it's easy to connect, it's easy to listen, it's easy to serve from your heart, it's easy to talk about how you can serve them and how they can serve you. That's the main uh, aspect for establishing the one-to-one and where to meet. I think the only other thing is when you get to the coffee place, if that's where you decide to meet, or any place that you decide to meet, you want to make sure there's a little privacy. So usually I try to find a table that's away from earshot of other people, just so that it feels more comfortable for both of you. Well, great. I hope you enjoyed the information from this video about using one-to-ones to help networking grow your business. If you have questions or concerns, email me at drmarkhoward@comcast.net. Thank you very much, and I hope it's been helpful to you.